Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Confused on where to start with weight loss medication? See the lowest prices available with or without insurance for Wegovy, Zepbound, and more at trylifemd.com. 95% of LifeMD patients said starting their weight loss journey was simple. Listen to Tara's story after losing 42 pounds.
You just take your shot. It doesn't feel like you're on a diet. What I wasn't expecting it to do was to shut off the food noise. I've gone from 237 to 195. This was life-altering, and if I can do it, I feel like anybody can do it.
Get your free insurance benefits check in minutes right now at trylifemd.com. Nearly 96% of patients said they would recommend the LifeMD program to anyone who wants to lose weight. Get started right now at trylifemd.com. That's trylifemd.com.
In a bizarre, spiraling series of events with no clear starting point, a family of 5 vanished during a road trip, only to resurface one by one after a week-long, chaotic journey spanning nearly 1,000 miles. Fueled by growing paranoia, the trip unraveled into confusion and crisis. The youngest daughter faced charges for car theft, while 4 family members returned exhibiting signs of serious mental distress. What triggered their descent into madness remains as mysterious as their disappearance. Welcome to Without a Trace. I'm your host, Jalyn. Every file holds a mystery. Every story deserves to be heard. This is the Tromp family story. The Tromp family were, by all accounts, a normal, hardworking family. They moved to Sylvan from nearby Maxfield in 2006, and in 2007 they purchased an 18-acre property where Mark and Jacoba established a successful red currant farm and earth-moving business. Their 3 children, Rihanna, Mitchell, and Ella, worked together with their family to grow and sell their red berries and run a pick-your-own-fruit tour from the grounds. Mark is described as a workaholic who is very devoted to his earth-moving business and red currant farm. Jacoba is very focused on managing the farm and is passionate about promoting the fruit, making it into jams and sauces. Ella is famous for her love of horses, and there are a number of equestrian jumps in the backyard for her. In August of 2016, the farm was dormant as it was the winter season, and the family's home was undergoing serious renovations. The family was gearing up for the beginning of spring, which brought the pressure of increasing the production of the farm through fertilization and irrigation. In the summer months, the entire family would work on the farm 7 days a week. The pressure was about to heap itself on the family. The Tromp family was beginning to feel the pressure. In the days leading up to their disappearance, Mark had become increasingly paranoid. He was convinced someone was watching them and that their lives were in danger. He claimed their phones were being tracked, their money wasn't safe, and the only way to protect the family was to disappear. Jacoba was also exhibiting increased signs of stress and paranoia, believing someone was out to kill them and take their money. Mitchell explained, quote, "It slowly got worse as the days went by. They were just fearing for their life, and then we decided to flee." On Monday, August 29th, 2016, Mark, Jacoba, Rihanna, Mitchell, and Ella suddenly piled into Ella's silver station wagon and headed north, with little on them but a pile of cash. Mitchell appeared to be the only one in the family not swept up in the belief that they were in danger. Mitchell couldn't explain what was happening, but he felt he had to go with his family because he couldn't leave them and he wanted to see where they were going. About 20 miles into their journey, the Tromp family learned that Mitchell brought his phone along. They made him throw it out the car window near Warburton for fear that it was being tracked. Eventually, Mitchell became too frustrated by his parents' paranoia, and on Tuesday, August 30th, around 7 a.m., he abandoned the trip near the regional NSW town of Bathurst, where he began the journey back home. A short time later, the rest of the family arrived in the popular tourist area Jenolan Caves near the Blue Mountains. Ella and Rihanna stole a car and drove back south towards Goulburn, In the town of Goulburn, the sisters reported to police that their parents had gone missing. The story made its way into the media, and the bemused public began to wonder how a family could become so strangely separated on what was, at first, believed to be a road trip in their own country. From Goulburn, Ella and Rihanna decided to part ways, with Ella saying she wanted to go home and feed her horses. Ella continued the drive on to Sylvan in the stolen vehicle. She became the first Tromp to be located when she arrived back at the family farm on Tuesday night. When she arrived at home, police were at the farm searching for clues as a result of Mark and Jacoba being reported missing. When Victorian police arrived at the Tromp family's home, the doors were unlocked. Ella's station wagon was the only vehicle missing, and the other cars had been left behind, with the keys still in the ignitions. The family's passports, mobile phones, and bank cards were all discovered inside, along with piles and piles of financial and business documents. The documents were neat and ordered, almost as if someone had been searching for something. Ella appeared reasonably unaffected mentally, but was unable to provide police with an explanation for the family's sudden disappearance. Meanwhile, back in Goulburn, Rihanna remained at the gas station where she and her sister parted ways. Around 11 a.m., Keith Whittaker pulled in to refuel his Ford pickup truck. Rihanna was able to sneak into the back seat, attempting to steal a ride. The driver had driven almost an hour away before noticing the stowaway. He felt a kick on the back of his seat, turned, and found Rihanna laying on the floor, so he pulled over. Rihanna was in a catatonic state. She was unable to provide any personal details or identify who she was. Keith called the police, and while they waited for help to arrive, Rihanna just stared forward. She was taken to Goulburn Hospital, where she was treated for stress-related issues. Mitchell would arrive home the following morning, having taken a series of trains from Sydney. He, too, appeared to be unaffected by the family's recent psychosis. Police began searching the Jenaloan Caves area for Mark and Jacoba, but they were nowhere to be found. The pair had already driven back over the Victorian border to the town of Wangaratta. From Wangaratta, Jacoba traveled alone north to Yass via public transportation, while Mark remained behind with Ella's station wagon. That night, a couple in Wangaratta experienced a disturbing incident in which they were tailgated by a man in a silver station wagon. When they pulled over, the driver got out of the car and ran towards them before stopping in the middle of the road, staring at them, then disappearing into the night. It was believed to be Mark. Police also began investigating a number of break-ins in the town, including a motel, though it's unclear if these were related. On Thursday, September 1st, in an effort to locate his father, Mitchell appeared on television alongside police, appealing for information. Mitchell stated, quote, "He's scared that people are after him. He's not in a good state of mind." Who Mark thought these people were remains unclear. Mitchell simply stated he couldn't provide a specific explanation for his parents' paranoia and that their extreme behavior shocked him. Mitchell was quoted saying, "I've never seen anything like it. It's really hard to explain or put a word on it, but they were just fearing for their lives and then they decided to flee." That afternoon, Jacoba was admitted to a hospital in Yass after a passerby spotted her wandering around the town in an agitated state. Sergeant Mark Knight with NSW Police said the doctors at the hospital had assessed her and reported her mental health, quote, "wasn't of a good standard." Sergeant Knight also referred to the case as the most bizarre he'd come across in 3 decades of policing. Jacoba was later moved to Goulburn Hospital to be with her daughter Rihanna as the pair continued mental health treatment. Then, on Saturday, September 3rd, the last Tromp was found. Mark was located running along a street on the outskirts of Wangaratta around 5:50 p.m. He was picked up by police where he was questioned, assessed by a mental health officer, then released into the care of his police officer brother. As he was driven away, Mark gave waiting media the middle finger. In a statement made the following week, Mark expressed his regret over the ordeal, but didn't elaborate on what caused his distress. Rihanna confirmed that a buildup of stressors had led to her father suffering a mental breakdown, one so intense he feared someone was after him. But many questions remain unanswered, including a key one: why did the rest of the family follow? At the time, there was wild speculation about what prompted the Tromp family to flee. Theories ranged from psychosis caused by chemicals used on their red currant farm to the suggestion that they were running from debt collectors. Both were ruled out, though police didn't comment further. It is clear that mental health played a significant role. One of the most persistent theories to emerge was that the family may have been experiencing a psychological condition known as folie à deux, otherwise known as madness of two. The French term covers a rare psychological condition occurring almost exclusively in close-knit families. It was originally coined to describe a 19th century French couple who began exhibiting paranoid and delusional behavior. While doctors were unable to tell which of them had become psychotic first, it was very clear they had fallen into a cycle of reinforcing each other's delusions. Rihanna appeared to agree with this theory, stating, quote, "You do start thinking the same. You have a few things and they do build up. You can get sick in some way." Her siblings, however, seemed as baffled as those who followed this story. Ella stated, quote, "It is very confusing. I still feel confused. I think our state of minds wasn't in the best place, and yeah, I can't even really. There's no reason for it. It's bizarre." Mitchell said he couldn't explain what had happened either, but said he didn't share his father's sense of danger when the family scrambled into the car on August 29th, explaining, quote, "It was tough to see your family like that, and I've never seen anyone like it. But the main thing is they're okay now. Everyone is safe, everyone is well, so we can just go back to being the family again." The Tromps had kept a low profile since and have seemingly returned to work in their regular lives. Ella was charged with car theft over the incident, but the charges were ultimately dropped with the understanding of the vehicle's owner. Rihanna was spared over charges over the stolen vehicle for her mental health reasons. Thank you for listening to Without a Trace with your host, Jolynn. I hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the disappearances of the Tromp family. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please subscribe and follow Without a Trace on social media. Join me next week as I dive into another case.